Hallo kykers en welkom by nog 'n episode van julle gunsteling en hoogs betroubare aanlyn nuusbron Erongo Talk. Dankie vir julle almal wat gereeld by ons inskakel. Ons bring vir julle nuus, die weer en vertel ook vir julle waar die vis heel mondelik gaan byt. In ons onderhoud verskaf die minister van Visserye en Mariene Hulpbronne, Klazen, duidelikheid oor die kwessie van voormalige stakende vissermanne wat bedank het by maatskappye waar hulle in Walvis Bay heraangestel is. Nou soos gebruiklik is ons kalenderdag eerste op die lys en vandag vier ons Wees lief vir jou prokureur dag. Geniet die video insetsel saam met ons. In vandag se nuus, die minister van Stedelike en Landelike Ontwikkeling, Erastus Etoni, het 319 onvolledige massa behuisingsontwikkelingsprogram huise in Swakopmund aan New Era Construction oorhandig. Die maatskappy is getaak om die huise vir okkupasie te voltooi. Die kontraktydperk is vir 18 maande en bring 'n einde aan 'n jarelange hofsaage wat daartoe gelei het dat die huise vir byna 5 jaar onvoltooid gestaan het. Etoni het die kontrakteurs aangemoedig om die huise binne die 18 maande tydraamwerk te voltooi. Die eerste groep van 111 van die 319 huise sal na verwagting binne 6 maande voltooi wees. Die huise is deel van 891 onvoltooide huise wat onder die bekostigbare behuisingsprogram in Swakopmund gebou is. Die burgemeester van Swakopmund, Dina Namubes, het die kontrakteur gevra om lede van die gemeenskap in diens te neem. Met die ontstaan van die massabehuisingsontwikkelingsprogram is altesaam 1837 huise beplan en in gebruik geneem in Swakopmund. Van hierdie totaal is 1332 huise tot dusver voltooi en aan die begunstigdes oorhandig. Die program is in 2013 deur die regering bekendgestel en geïmplementeer en dit was daarop gemik om investering in die bekostigbare behuisingssektor te verhoog en om in die vraag na behuising in Namibië te voorsien. In ander nuus, die saak waarin die geskorste raadslid van die Independent Patriot for Change, Siska Howard, van laster beskuldig word, nader nou die verhoorstadium nadat bemiddeling onsuksesvol was. Partye het op 17 Augustus vir die hof gefasiliteerde bemiddeling ontmoet. Maar onderhandelinge was onsuksesvol. Regter Nate Ndeandapo sal die saak aanhoor en 'n voorverhoorbevel en verslag is reeds uitgereik. Die IPC raadslid meneer Siegfried Garweb beskuldig Smith Howard dat sy in Oktober verlede jaar tydens 'n onderhoud wat op Facebook uitgesaai is, lasterlik en vals sy uitlatings gemaak het. Garweb beweer Smith Howard het die stellings gemaak met die doel om sy waardigheid en sy reputasie te skend. Hy eis 350.000 Namibiese dollar in skadevergoeding van Smith Howard en doen aansoek vir 'n bevel van die Hoërhof in Windhoek wat haar verplig om die uitlatings terug te trek en skriftelik verskoning te vra. In pleitstukke voer Smith Howard aan haar uitlatings is waar. Sy sê dat beweringe van bedrog, omkopery en diefstal van openbare eiendom teen Garup gemaak is en haar uitlatings was daarom glo in openbare belang. En dan ten slotte, die Toerisme Expo 2022 se deure open amptelik vandag in Windhoek. Die doel van vanjaar se expo is om streektoerisme te bevorder. Die expo het ten doel om verskaffers en kliënte in die toerismebedryf bymekaar te bring. Dit is die rede hoekom nie net die gasvryheidsbedryf by die toerismeskou verteenwoordig word nie, maar ook verskaffers van verskeie alkoholiese produkte. Meer as 20 verskillende wynhandelsmerke word by die expo verteenwoordig en om dit makliker vir besoekers te maak wat graag die verskillende wyne wil proe, is daar soos altyd 'n uitruil muntstelsel of 'n token system waar 'n wynglas saam met 5 ruilmunte vir $130 gekoop kan word. Die ruilmunte het 'n waarde van $20 elk. Natuurlik kan meer ruilmunte gekoop word om by die wynstalletjies te gebruik, waar soms ook jenever en whisky te koop aangebied sal word. Bierliefhebbers sal ook waarde vir hulle geld kry, want behalwe vir die Namibia Breweries Limited produkte wat op die perseel te vind is, gaan 3 butiekbrouers hul produkte vir expo gangers aanbied om te proe. Meer inligting oor die daaglikse programme sal in die komende dae verskaf word. En daarmee kom ons dan aan die einde van vandag se nuus.
Yeah, we have been hit also by the news about a group of fishermen that have resigned. Now, as we are all fully aware that in 2015 there was the strike of the fishermen where they lose their jobs. And for 5 years, these people were without any income. The Ministry of Fisheries went to Cabinet and deliberated in Cabinet on this matter, and it was quite clear that the Cabinet resolution was that the Ministry of Fisheries, Marine Resources, as well as Ministry of Labour and the Office of the Governor, we need to work together to see how we can mitigate the situation of these fishermen. These parties came up with an agreement to say that when they went to Cabinet, to say to Cabinet, okay, that the governmental objective quota can be used to employ these people. Then the ministry went out on an expression of interest whereby many companies applied to the ministry to say we are willing to take up these people for employment in our companies. But they need to be right holders. These companies that did the request or the application to the ministry. The ministry then went into agreements with certain companies, and these agreements were signed, and these companies took the employment up with these people. I need to say that some of these companies, they fully employed all of these people, because something that they need to put straight is that these fishermen, before the strike, they worked on companies where they went to sea. Some of them were in factories and some went to sea. They were fishermen working on boats. Now, after the strike was declared illegal and so on, then these people were fired from the respective companies they worked for. And these companies employed new people in the position of these people. So the positions which they held became no more for them. So when we went into agreements with fishing companies, there was no sites for them at sea and so on. So we have to look that these people need to be employed, and that is whereby the agreement was at least a minimum of $4,000 need to be paid to each and every one of these employees. Some were lucky and they were taken. The companies that took them in, they could go to sea, and some of them is like on a revolving matter that when their job is becoming available at sea, they can then be employed. Others were taken up in factories. Others were getting different jobs, but as long as they are employed at that specific company. Well, some companies, they had serious plans. They wanted to acquire boats. They want to buy factories and so on. But unfortunately, the war broke out in Ukraine, which nobody foresees. And this specific company where the resignations took place, they wanted to acquire some boats from Russia. And they also wanted to go in partnership with a factory and so on to employ these people, but their plans didn't work out. So these people stayed at home for this past 2 years. They received their money, and for them they felt, for the workers it felt, but we are being exploited. Quota is being given for us to be employed, but we are not physically employed. I categorically have to state to you, my dear media members, that the quotas was not given to the individual workers. The quota was given to the company. And the company went into an agreement with the Ministry of Fisheries and Ministry of Labor. So that agreement was to employ X amount of workers and to give them X amount of money. And of course, if these workers goes to sea, then they will earn more money. Then they sit at home where they will just get like a retainer or a basic. So that is unforeseen what has happened. And after I made my speech in cabinet or in parliament, everybody heard it. And then the workers were not happy with what I said. But it is because that the company didn't have work for them, to employ them physically. In the Ministry of Fisheries and Marine Resources, for the past month now, we are busy with an audit to see how many workers are not really employed by companies that took them up. So that the Ministry of Fisheries can go into discussions with these companies to see what is the future plans for these workers. And if not, that these workers can be retrieved then, and the agreement can be changed with these companies so that the Ministry of Fisheries can go on an expression of interest to other companies, to open up to all companies to see who have physical work for these workers, so that we have like a pool of workers that are under these conditions, so that they can get employed physically. So that is a process that we are busy with. But while we are busy with this process, there was this resignation of the workers, you know, and it worried us. Why now? And then we learned that these workers, that there are some companies that can offer them work. And the workers were very happy that they can maybe move over to other companies. But what they didn't understand was the matter that they cannot resign. If you resign, it means you're out of the system now. And you have signed an agreement with a company, the ministry have signed an agreement with a company, so the quota is for the year, and that quota is in the plans of the company. So there's no way the company can give the quota back to the ministry, because this agreement was already signed and it is up to the end of the season. It's only after the end of the season that we can renegotiate and relook these agreements. So quota cannot be given back. That is why our plea was to the workers that please withdraw your resignation. We plead with the companies, please put these people back on your payrolls, because we have already signed the agreement and it is there. And we are not going to withdraw these agreements, and you have agreed to keep these people until the end of this contract for this year. So that is basically what have transpired. I have come down to Walvis Bay for this past 2 days. I have been in close discussions with the unions as well as with the workers and with the companies. And it seems that we have reached a middle way to get these people reinstated into the companies, but this process is now being handled technically by the technical people in my ministry, and as well as the companies and the workers. So I'm very happy for this solution, and I have to thank everyone, every partner that played a role that we can solve this amicably. Thank you very much.
Erongo Talk brings you community news in the Erongo region. Erongo Talk aims to reach coastal residents, keeping them updated on what's happening in their community. This show is broadcasted on NTV, 102.com, and cross-shared on the following Facebook platforms: Erongo, The Republican, Algemeine Zeitung, Namibian Sun, and Namibia Media Holdings. Erongo Talk focuses on community news, weather update, fishing report, helpful tips, as well as sport and entertainment. For news-related or advertising queries, contact Erongo Talk at synergy.com.na. Erongo Talk, our community, your news.
Good day, viewers, and welcome to the 2022 Tourism Expo. I will be your host for the next couple of 3 days. The name is Monique Adams. We are here at the SKW Sports Field, and as you can see, we're busy setting up. Gates will open tomorrow at 2, and tickets will be available at the gate. So please tell a friend and bring your family members along, and let's have some fun. See you here.
Some big blacktails were caught all around the Swakopmund angling areas. Fewer galjoen were hooked, but that was to be expected with slightly warmer waters hitting our shores. Pen-sized cod were also taking the bait. Calmer waters are to be expected, and thus some better fishing. The shark anglers have had their hands full though. Bronzies, spotties and cow sharks were plentiful. On a single day, Captain Zaki Knuffel from the ski boat Heidi managed to catch 40 cow sharks and 3 bronzies. He said they used mackerel and mullet as bait. From a ski boat, one can fish slightly differently for sharks than from the shore. One can use a balloon that's tied to the line to keep either live bait or cut bait from the bottom of the ocean. Sharks swim in every water column. So on this day, Zaki knew they were in the upper water column. According to Louis Fanau, the fishing was tough the past weekend at the annual Simon corporate fishing event. His team came in second overall, and they caught some cod weighing up to 7 kilograms, which was the second heaviest for the tournament. They also reeled in the third heaviest galjoen. They fished the mile 106 area and landed the bigger cod late in the afternoon. One team was apparently disqualified for breaking the rules. Now Grumpy says he is a stern believer in good ethics, so he commended the officials for keeping the competition clean and fair. The snook seemed to have disappeared for now, but the ski boat anglers are getting some cod and blacktail, especially in the mile 6 area and close to the pump station. Grumpy says he is keeping his fingers crossed that the bigger crop will arrive soon. You can visit our website www.erongo.com.na for your tides. Until our next report, we say tidelines.
The Evening Review is a daily interview-based talk show that dissects and expounds on current affairs as they occur in Namibia. The show aims at reaching Namibians of all age groups who seek better understanding of the state of current affairs in the country. This show is broadcasted on NTV, 1up2.com, and cross-shared on the following Facebook platforms: Namibian Sun and Namibia Media Holdings. The Evening Review focuses on interviews, latest news, and up-to-the-minute current events. Contact evening@synergy.com.na. Evening Review, unpacking today's pertinent issues.
Kletskompas is 'n Afrikaanse kontinuïteitsprogram met Namibiese nuus en onderhoude. Kletskompas streef om die hart van die Afrikaanssprekende gemeenskap te bereik. Nuwe episodes van die program word elke weekdag op NTV, 1up2.com en op Republikein se Facebook-platform uitgesaai. Kletskompas fokus op nuus, onderhoude, lesersfoto's en die sportprent. Vir enige nuusverwante navrae of advertensiebenodigdhede, kontak klets@synergy.com.na.
Kykers, ons het aan die einde van vandag se program gekom en sê dankie vir julle wat gereeld by ons inskakel. Onthou, ons is daagliks om 2 uur op DStv kanaal 285 of GoTV kanaal 94. Julle kan ook 'n groot verskeidenheid van programme op ons NMH aanlyn TV kanaal 1up2.com geniet. Kry toegang tot meer nuus en ander stories op ons webwerf www.erongo.com.na of volg ons op Facebook. Vir jou advertensiebehoeftes, kontak ons bemarker William Groenewald by erongotalk@synergy.com of stuur vir hom 'n WhatsApp of Telegram na 081 411 9604. Onthou om 'n draai te gaan gooi by die Toerisme Expo en daarmee sê ek dan totsiens.